Hey guys and girls, this is actually the end. We already finished part 7. But I felt it's necessary for me to come in. I want to put this little insert in the beginning of the video before we start. To all the do-it-yourselfers out there who work on people's cars, to all the mechanic shops out there, to all the dirt bags out there, you need to listen carefully. People have limits. You do not need to push those limits. People sacrifice every day. They're only making $15 an hour, sometimes even less. So when they depend on a vehicle to get them back and forth to work, and they take pretty much their life savings to have you fix this vehicle, you best do it right, because people have limits. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, too many times, open up the newspaper, people are shooting and killing every single day. You have no idea who you're working for at that moment, what their life is about, what's going on in their life, whether it be a death in the family, they're going through a lot, lost their job and everything, they're on the verge of moving, and they need their vehicle, and here you are ripping them off and not doing the work. They're going to lose it. And what I don't understand here is that these shops that do that, and guys, girls, please explain to me, how is it that you have a shop that you go to work every single day, and a lot of these guys it's a family business, so they have their wife there, their kids, just like this guy, Williams Auto Repair and Sales. The guy, as you see in the video, the guy was saying most of the time his wife's in the office. Why on this earth would you take a chance and rip somebody off knowing that they know where you are from this time to this time every single day? I don't get it. And I just don't get it. You gotta no matter what kind of business you're in, be honest with people. Because you never know who you're dealing with. And not only that goes into a bad way, that goes into a good way. You see waitresses who gets thousands of dollars in a tip from a person, and the only reason why they got this tip is because they was always nice to this person, and the person comes back in return. Karma. I always believe in karma. Karma is and you guys who out there doing this wrong to people, karma's going to get you. There's no question about it. There's no doubt about it. Whether it's done by the hands of me, one of our subscribers, or by your own doing, by the person you pissed off, it's going to get you. One way or another, karma comes back. Karma is always circulating. Come on, guys. Especially you haters out there who hate against Astral, hate all you want. But you best be doing the right thing, because if not, it's going to come and get you. It's as simple as that. I just want to add that in there. Please be courteous towards other people. You should only act ignorant or show your bad side when you have no other choice. And you do that to protect yourself, or you do that to protect others who deserve being protected. Simple as that. If somebody's wrong, whether it's your family member, whether your brother, cousin, mother, sister, brother, whatever, whoever it is, if they're wrong, you pull them to the side and tell them you're wrong. All right, so in that way, you settle this over here. Don't let this escalate, because when things escalate, they can turn into something that nobody wants in the end. All right. So, having said that, please be careful. This guy's gonna, one way or another, this guy's gonna get his. We found out this guy's back and forth to court all the time from people suing him. And on top of it, you look at his receipt, it says Williams Auto Repair and Sales. So you're selling cars now. Oh my goodness. It's only a matter of time before we read about them in the paper. And that sucks, because after this video, we never know what's going to happen tomorrow, the day after, whatever. And it's going to suck. Do the right thing. All right? Now, let's get to this video and get this car taken care of. Well, I already know what happened. Take care. Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? All right, here we are. 2004 Chevy Monte Carlo. 3.4 lower intake manifold gasket. This job has officially turned into head gaskets. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to prep everything. What we're going to do is pull off both heads, get the other one ready for to ship it back out for a core once Olivia, and that's the customer's name. So we're not going to relate to her no more as the customer. She officially got a name, Olivia. And what we're going to do is pull the heads off, get everything ready so we can get this taken care of, because we're starting to get backed up in a lot of other work, but this has got to be put to the foremost. One, because this job came in before these other jobs set appointment, and two, it's just the right thing to do. All right, I'm already under the gun because we got to, just like from the part 6, this is part 7, just in case I didn't say that. This is a red car, and red car has a superstition about them, and here I am wearing a red tie. So this ain't looking good for me already. But anyway, before we get to it, all right, here we go. Me and Sylvia we got into a little how you want to say this, a little debate, a little disagreement on things. But this disagreement on things has shown us just how strong of a team we make. One, on the recommendations of Desmond. Desmond, what's up? And thanks to Paul, thanks to Ernesto, and everyone else out there who have emailed us and contacted us and wanted to donate something to get this car done for this woman. We appreciate that. Now, here's where the debate comes in at. Sylvia wants to, on the recommendation of Desmond, wants to start doing collecting donations from you guys to help this woman, help Olivia fix this car. If, when I speak to the owner, he is not willing to help out in any kind of way. I understand that, guys and girls. I understand trying to help people out. I understand that at all. Here's my debate to this. My thing is, I don't think it's right for good people to throw money at a problem. All right, that's good and well, but I think I think my position is we need to take care of this. We need to stop this person from doing this to future people, because if we don't, we're gonna be throwing out money to this person. And that's just like I said, not that it's a bad thing. It's just that we need to stop the problem. That's my thing is. So I'm letting, at the end of this video, Sylvia's gonna talk to you more about that. My thing is, and we know a lot of you out there is thinking on that side, they're helping people out, and that's good. That is great. And there's some of you out there also who thinking like me. We need to shut this guy down. Not that we need to go beat him up or do anything like that. I mean, if I go there and he gets irate with me, yeah, I gotta put the smack down. I mean, that's what as in protecting myself. I'm not saying I'm the baddest person, but I gotta protect myself. What am I supposed to do? Right? What am I supposed to do? Let him argue with me? Let him come to my face? Nah, I gotta do something about that. So I hope it don't come to that. We're just gonna discuss this thing. We need to shut these shops down. We need to do whatever possible, either through lawsuits or either through any kind of government agency, the city, the town, whatever it may be. We need to constantly make this complaint known. And I believe the only way you can solve problems like this is you got to hurt them where they hurt people, in the pocket. Once you get that, then you shut them down. All right, that's my thing. We need to stop this from happening. And I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we need to get together and brainstorm something and shut these people down. All right. Customers, regular people on their own can't do this. To shut down these crooked shops, it takes a shop to take the lead. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the lead, so that way we can prove in case it goes to court and all, we can get technical with you now. We can prove this point that it wasn't done. All right, through this video of this, we can prove it wasn't done. It takes shops to know this, right? To do this. And once we get that, once the court system get used to Astro coming in court and do it, they know, hey, these people know what they're talking about. You're gonna pay this money. Keep doing that, you shut your doors down. Again, as I said before, I live for this. these trolls that trolls our channel and all this, they think they're doing something. They don't understand. I live for this. I love this. I ain't for this over here. I love that confrontation because it's something right. It's something right to do, and I like to see the end result, shutting them down. I love this mess. I would go forever. I don't care. And I know some of you out there are like that also, which also introduces us to the Astral Stars. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, Desmond's going to be the president of. It's not going to be a fan club no more. We're just going to be called the Astral Stars. It's people who standing up for others' wrongdoings. Right? We're going to stand up for those people who've been wrong. It's as simple as that. It's not a whether of what you like it or not or whatever. It's what's right. And that's what we're going to stand up for. That's what the Astral Stars is going to be about. It's going to be different. You're going to have shirts and everything, okay? It ain't going to be like this fan club we won't let bull. I ain't got time for that waving flags and whatever they doing. I don't know. Whatever they do in a fan club, you know, hand out postcards and all that. It ain't about that. It's up for standing people. And that's what we're going to do. All right? So, without further ado, I cringe and looking up under that hood, man. And that with my shades on. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Alright, but anyway. I got everything set up over here. So let's get this done. Let's take these heads off and let's see what other kind of problems. And hopefully that's it. Let's see what other kind of things is clogged up, anything we gotta do, alright? Be right back. Alright guys and girls, here we go. Welcome to our nightmare. Let's get this done. Alright, remember last time we had this piece of tissue in here because we had to get that casting number down there so we can get this out of here. And got our tools set up over here. Alright. Let's get to it. Let's stop playing around. The next thing we're going to do, we got this crossover exhaust pipe right here that we need to get out the way. And remember last time we looked at this. They said, heck with it. I'm going to leave the bolts out. I don't care. Let it rattle around. Hey, my car. That's how people think. So what we got here, to the other side, we got two 5/16 or 8mm bolts holding this shield down. So we're going to get over here and get me a... Alright. Got me a 10? Okay, 10mm. Sorry. 10mm deep 3/8 drive socket with a 12-inch 3/8 drive extension and my 3/8 drive ratchet. And what I'm going to do here is, see here, if you figures they was loose. Seems like every bolt on this is loose. Alright. Let's get those out of there. 1, 2. Now remember, inside the house, we have our party line that we had started before. And this is what I mean by a party line. This car has been down for days. So instead of these parts in a corner somewhere, piled up in bolts in a bucket, everything, I can wait next year and come back. As long as I follow that line, this is going to be cake to put back together. So we're going to do, let's start a new line, and this one's going to continue off to the other one. So we got our shield right there. Let's go back over here. Okay, let's take our 2 bolts and stick them back in here. Now, before we remove the pipe to get the heads off, we got the exhaust pipe. What the heck is this? Oh, this goes to that. Okay, out of the way. Get that out of the way. We got the exhaust pipe right here that's going to the back of this head. Now, you can get up under it, get a long extension, but I'm going to try something different. Because what we got here is 2 nuts. There's one right here, and there's one right on the other side. Let me see what they are. First of all, let's try. That's a 14. I think they're going to be a 14. Let's try a 13 deep 3/8 drive. Let's see if I can get in there. Yes, it is. It's a 13. And if I can get a shallow, that'd be even great, but I don't think I can. But before we do that, we're gonna take some WD-40 and we're gonna spray them up. And then spray this up over here. And how many is over here? 3, okay. Let's get our air filter out of the way. Alright, there's the 3 right there. Alright. I'm gonna let that sit for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good enough. Alright, now that deep might be in the way. I'm trying to avoid getting up under the car right now, because I like this, you know, being able to do this from up here. Alright, so I got my swivel head ratchet. And what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get in there with my ratchet. Oh man. Alright, so you're going to give me a hard time. That's no problem. That's no problem at all. What I'm going to do is get that loosened up. I'm going to get me a 13 millimeter wrench and break them loose. Alright, be right back. Alright, what I got here, I'll try a better idea. I got my 1/2 inch drive 13 millimeter. I should be using a 6 point. I don't know what my 6 point is. And I got a reducer 1/2 inch to 3/8. I'm going to try to break that down. Break that loose. Let's go over here. Get my ratchet down in here. Alright, I'm on. Oh, no, 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 no. That is not happening. That is not happening at all. Alright. I'm going to have to jack this vehicle up. Put a jack stand up on it, and we're going to get under there with a long extension and all that and get them loose, because I do not want this to slip off. I do not want this strip, or that's going to cause me a heck of a lot of problems. So it's this car jacked up, and let's see here. Figure out what side to jack it up on. Now what I want to do is stay away from the exhaust side so I can get enough room. And we figure the exhaust pipe is on the right side, so I'm going to jack it up on the left side, get a jack stand up on there, and then we're going to go up under there and get those nuts off of there. Alright, be right back. Alright, here we go, guys and girls. Got this thing jacked up, got our jack stand up under there for safety. And we're good to go. Got my carpet here, got my cardboard. Now what I got is my 1/2 inch drive ratchet. I just got a bunch of, what is this one? This one's 4 1/4. This one is, I don't know. This one is, I don't know, 12 inch. I'm just adding them all together here with my little wobble, with my 13 millimeter deep 6 point impact socket. And hopefully all those gonna be long enough to get down there and get this. And once I break them loose, then I got my air ratchet, my air gun to bring it home. Yeah, but maybe I should put that on reverse. Alright, now I don't like that noise, so we're gonna get that later. Alright, now guys, look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this backyard stuff right here. Look at the exhaust. And I knew when I backed the car up, I said, wait a minute, that exhaust seems like it's dragging. Look at this, man. They're supposed to be rubber mounts right here to here, and on the other side to hold this system up. Right now, this system is just hanging down. I'm surprised it didn't rip this thing out of the car. Oh, man, people, man. People. All right, now check this out. We got a O2 sensor here. So if we take that thing up loose down there, this whole system's gonna drop. So what we're gonna do is get us a little jack stand to put up under here to keep the exhaust system from dropping down for now, because we're still gonna lower the car back down, and we gotta make sure that jack stand is from under there. Yeah, because that thing ain't gonna, well, no, it might drop back down into the, what kind of bar is that up under there? What kind of stabilizer bar? Yeah. It'll drop right down and hold on to this, so we ain't gotta worry about it. But, you look up there, see if we can get down there. There's one bolt, and right on the top, let's see if I can get to that angle. There's the other nut right on top. Right there. And then here's the second one right there. Man, that's a long way up there. So let's get our mamma jamma here. And let's get up, try to get to the hardest one first. What the heck is that drop, man? Something must dead up on there. I'm gonna be extra pissed off. Alright. Let's see if we can get to this other one. Can I get this on the other side? It looks like the exhaust system. Let's zoom out here. Let's zoom out. I ain't trying to zoom in. Let's zoom out. Yeah, looks like I can. Bingo. Alright. We're on it. Here's the end of my extension. And what I gotta do now, see how this thing wobbles off of it? I gotta make sure that stays on straight while loosening it up. And what I'm gonna do here, I have no idea how I'm gonna let you see this. Let's see here. This if I use my air gun and put this down like this, put this up like this. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right. All right, I'm gonna see if I can loosen that up. Keep it straight on there as much as I can. Dang it, now that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Let me see if I can get this other one, bottom one, loose. Actually, wait a minute. Let me take off one of these, this shorter extension here. Let's try this one over here first. Okay. These things are tight. All right, there's one. All right, that's coming loose. That's good. All right, now for the one up there, that's going to be a problem. Oh, wait a minute, I can move the exhaust a little bit. How am I gonna hold it and do that at the same time? I have no idea. There it is. All right, now that I got it loose, I'm gonna loosen it up more to make sure. Now I'm all good. I'm all good to go for the air gun. Oh, you holding my air gun. All right, so I'm gonna buzz those out with the air gun. And I'll be right back. All right, guys. Oh man, this is crampy up in here. I got one of them off right there on the ground. Now we'll see if I can record this last one over here. It just dropped right down. Alright, so we're good to go with this. Get our things from under here. Alright, there's our 2 nuts. We got them off. Alright, let's shake this exhaust system a little bit. See if we can back it off of there. There we go. Now it's leaning right up on some of the stabilizer. This is definitely out of our way, and we still got a lot of play on this sensor, so I'm not worried about it. Alright, the next thing we do is get from under here, get all our stuff from under here, and let this vehicle back down. Right back. Alright, now we're back on the top. We got those 2 nuts over there. Now let's get to our crossover pipe right here. We got 6 nuts, 3 on each side, held in by 13mm nuts. Now what I'm going to do here is got my 13mm deep 3/8 drive with my 4-inch 3/8 drive extension. And what I'm going to do is over here get my ratchet right here. I'm going to get my swivel one because that's a lot better. Hold on, let me get this set up and I'll be right back. Alright, what I'm going to do is reach in here, and what I want to do first, just like underneath, I want to break them loose first. Okay, go up under here, other one, make sure it's nice and loose, and go over here to our other one. Now for the 3 over there, what I'm going to use here is my 2-foot 3/8 drive extension. Where's my socket? My deep 13mm 3/8 drive ratchet, so I can be way out here. Loosen them up. Hey, that one came off really good, really loose. And then the one right down here. Now this one down here, it looks like it's at a really bad angle. There we go. Alright, now that I got them all loose, for the ones back there, I'm going to get my cordless gun. Take them right off. Alright, we got the 3 of them off. This one looks different too. Look at that. Alright, now for this one I can't do it with those 3. So what I'm going to have to do is get my 4-inch extension with my 3/8 drive deep 13mm socket and get my air ratchet. So let me put these to the side. Alright, got my air ratchet here. And let's get in there and take those off. We'll start from the bottom one since it's the hardest. Okay, that's 1. 2. 3. Now we got them all off. Let's see. There we go. Alright, there we go. We got our pipe out of there. I'm going to lean that to the side. And what I'm going to do is take the nuts, all 6, and I'm going to put them back on where they belong. Alright, put that on. We're going to put this in the party line, and we'll be right back. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, now that head back there, we're ready to unbolt it, I think, and take it out. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, let's get back over here. Now we got these 2 big mounting brackets that's in our way of getting this head off, getting these bolts out of here. So that sucks. Alright, this is taking an unexpected turn. This bracket right here is actually going down it's actually, dang it, the AC compressor is actually bolted to part of this bracket, so we got to unbolt the compressor. Man, this sucks. All right, and let me look up under here. All right, it looks like just the two top bolts. These two top bolts right here is the only two bolts holding onto that bracket. But taking out those two bolts still is not going to give us enough leeway. We got to get to those bottom two bolts also. You know what? All right, this is what we're going to do. Forget that. We're going to get these out of here. Even if we have to take the fans out, we're going to do that. All right, so let's get this out of the way. First of all, we did take out this one already. So I'm going to swing this to the side and get that out of the way. Let's get this one. We got three 13mm bolts. So I'm going to get my 13mm half-inch drive deep. We're going to go ahead and buzz these three out. Man, look at the different bolts, man. So, you know, somebody really did a job on this car. This is why I like putting bolts back. As I take them out, then you know it goes there. All right. Swing that to the side, and you can see as soon as we took it out, look at the engine. So that stabilizes the engine. So we ain't got to worry about that. All right, let's put these bolts back in place. Oh, hold on. All right, now what we're going to do, let's take our harness, swing it over towards that way. Our ignition wires, swing it over to that way. You notice I'm leaning them over to the side so they don't go into here and get oil or anything. Now, the next thing we're going to do is get our fans out of here. We got our distribution box. Remember, we had set that to the side. So what we're going to do is go over here, and now we're going to unhook it so we can move it back over. So now we got nothing in our way of the fan. Let's see how this fan is held in here. First off, we have looks like a transmission line going down here, and this might be in our way a little bit. And actually, if we look over here, let me go get me a long pry bar. I'll be right back. All right, that line goes down here, and it pops into a plastic clipping right there, a plastic clamp. What I'm gonna do is take my pry bar, pop that line out, get that line out of the way, because that line is definitely holding on to the fans. The next thing we're gonna do further up, we got two dang it, man, what the heck is this? How is these? We got the fan the connectors to the fan. And it looks like these things are a little bit of the whole harness looks like they're a little bit of pain to disconnect. But tell you what we're gonna do is put the fan up and maybe have to disconnect them while it's up in the air. So now the fan is held on by two brackets right up here. At least I think. Dang, yeah. Dang, wow. What the heck? That like hold on to the radiator and everything. These fans are huge. All right, so it looks like two 10mm bolts. One right here, and then one right on the other side. So, I'm gonna get my 10mm deep, 3/8 drive with my ratchet. I'm going here. Take them out. There we go. And get over here to the other one. Hey, the way I see about this, guys, we might end up having to pull this radiator out anyway. So, heck with it. Alright, now, let's see if this thing, alright, it does pick up. Alright, you know what? Before we mess this up, let's get a screwdriver and unhook this hose. Actually, it ain't moving too much out of the way. But I might want to remove this bar right here. This bar looks like it's in the way. Even if it's not in the way, hey, let's make it easier for us. Okay, it's got 13mm bolts. Get my air gun, my 13mm deep, 1/2 inch drive socket. Buzz these bolts out. And now I can unbolt it from over here. One more bolt. But what I'm going to do is see if I can, swing that right out of the way. And then put our bolts back in there. But check this out. Notice these bolts. Different. Look at these. Remember that one over here? See, that's what I mean by guys, they just throw bolts in the bucket, and as long as they fit, they're good to go. So let's take this out. And put this right here. And let's put these two back over here. Now, there's nothing wrong. They'll fit. They'll both work. But it looks shabby. It looks shabby work. And I don't like that. So I'm going to put them back. And besides, Sylvia's here, so she would have maybe put them back anyway.
Well, there is that one over there. So
see?
Where does that one go?
See, told you.
That one over there doesn't match. Where does that go?
Okay, that match, that match, that match, that match, that match. This one match. So somewhere around here, there's another bolt that they took out somewhere that don't match. So
I will have to find it.
yeah, I told you guys. Here we go. All right, so let's see if our fans can come up enough now. Get out of the way. Heck no. This thing is not budging. And it's out. Oh man, it's on that line over there. So let's see if I can get it from over here. Nope. Yeah, this has just turned into another project. Cause I do not want to remove this upper line over here. But if I have to, and it looks like I'm going to have to. Let me see. Yeah, it's hitting that line without that line being there. So we're going to have to disconnect this line over here. So you come over this side. And actually what I'm going to get, let me get me a little pan and see, because I lose some transmission fluid. Because right here, here's our line. And it's got this little plastic clip on it, this plastic retainer. So what you want to do, matter of fact, let me get something. Let me get my pan and screwdriver, and we'll be right back. All right, what I'm going to do, got my long screwdriver. And this little plastic cover right here, just want to pop that off. There it is, and it stays on the line. Now you got a little retaining clip right here. This will make it a lot easier instead of you getting a wrench and then trying to get that. And the problem is you got to get that clip off and make sure you don't lose it. Because if you lose it, you bought it. Simple as that. Dang it. Man, why couldn't this clip be the other way? It'd been a lot easier. Okay, go on this side. Okay. Oh, let me get me a little pick. Okay, on this side, and the other one in. Okay, almost off. Almost ain't good enough. There we go. All right. Now, what this clip does. There we go, right there. Watch, I'll drop it right into the radiator. Hey, yo, check this out, guys. I'm gonna get me a vanity plate for the front of my car, and it's gonna say, dang it. Alright, so while we got that out there, we got our pan up under there, and then we should be able to pop this line right out of there, just like that. See how easy that is? So get that line out of the way. And once we get the fan out of the way, we're going to put this clip back onto that fitting. And that's all we have to do is push that in and snap it into place. All right, now let's see if our fans can come up. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, let's get this hole out of the way. Here we go over here. Okay.
Wait.
All Alright, now we turn it over. And these are the clips I was telling you about. It's hard to get to while it's in there. And you notice, same clips as before. We gotta just take a screwdriver and notice I'm bringing that out just enough to go over that little ledge and then unplug it. Alright, so we go over here and do the other one. Unplug it. And let our harness hang down there. So I'm gonna put this in the party line and we'll be right back. Alright, the next thing we're gonna do is unbolt our AC compressor.
You have to put the clip back on the line.
I ain't putting no clip back.
Put the clip back
I'm not
on
putting
the
no
line.
clip. Why can't I be like one of these dirtbag mechanics and leave stuff out and do?
Back. Put the clip back.
Okay, the next thing is do is
Put
take
the
a.
clip back.
Dang it!
You want me to help you with the
All right,
video? That's what you get.
here we go, guys. We got the clip. Now, before the clip was like this. Now you can put it like this if you want, or you can put it on the opposite way. And the only thing you want to do is clip that back on, just like that. Now that thing's in place. So now that's all that line do is push in there, and the ring gonna open up and it's gonna snap into place. All right. Okay. You good now? Okay. Now the next thing we're gonna do, get me a mirror here.
To see if you look pretty.
Yeah. All right. We got 2 bolts that we know we gotta take out on the AC compressor. Let's see what if we get a mirror right here and go up under there and see if we can see what else is. All right, you're looking in the mirror. Come over this side, you can see it better. I see the one bolt. All right, if you look at the mirror, right there, see that one bolt right there? That's the bolt to the bottom of the compressor. And it looks like that's the only one. All right, so we got 3 bolts holding that compressor in. It's cool. I don't feel like doing too much anyway. It looks like about a 15 millimeter. All right, great. So let's get our mirror out of the way. Now you can go back to the other. And for that bottom one, that ain't gonna work. Right there, here. My ratchet. Okay, I got a 15 millimeter deep 3/8 drive socket with my 3/8 drive swivel ratchet. And what I want to do is go down here and get this bottom one first. Dang it. All right, I'm gonna sit here and get this one out. And once I get this one out, I'll be right back. All right, just got my bolt out. There it is. One bolt. I'll set that to the side. That's one. Now, for the 2 top ones, I'm gonna get my shallow 15 millimeter 3/8 drive with my air ratchet. And first I'm gonna do is break it loose. And then hit it with the gun, and with the ratchet. Wow, this is a long bit. All right, and what we're gonna do here is just take this bolt out and let that AC compressor just lay right down there to the side. We gotta evacuate the system, ain't gotta do nothing. It's right there to the side. Now we got 2 bolts here, 3 bolts. The 2 top ones are long, the one on the bottom is short. We're gonna set those to the side. Now we should be able to get this bracket out of here. We got a 15 millimeter bolt right here. The 2 on the bottom we already took out because they're part of the compressor. So let's find out. Let's get our air gun. With our 15 millimeter deep 1/2 inch drive. perfect. Look at that. Perfect. And what I'm gonna do is stick that bolt right back in there. This is looking good. All right. Now, while I'm at it, got the big bracket over here in the back. And if you come from this side and look at the back of that, we got 3 15mm bolts. I'm going to use my 15mm deep 3/8 drive. First, I'm going to break them loose. And you take them out. Alright, we're going to buzz this off and we'll be right back. Alright, got our last one over here. We got them out. All 3 are the same size. What I'm going to do is put these bolts back in the head so we know exactly where they go. Now on these brackets, you don't have to mark them because it's pretty obvious. You're not going to get them mixed up. I mean, if you can put this one over where the other one is, you're a better mechanic than I thought. All right, so we're going to put these brackets in the party line. When we come back, we're pulling off those heads. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. We're ready to pull off the heads.
But first,
we got to take off the rockers here on this side. So what we're going to do is let's get our wires, our ignition wires, put them to the side. Make sure our harness is all over here. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 8mm bolts all down the rockers. So we got an 8mm deep 3/8 drive with our 12-inch, it's 8.5 inch 3/8 drive extension with our 3/8 drive ratchet. And what we're gonna do now, this is an 8mm. You can also use a 5/16. And what we're gonna do is break these rockers loose.
some of them come with a 10mm.
Right.
So yours might be a 10. This is an 8, but yours might be a 10. Right?
Don't be telling me right. Don't be correcting my work.
I'm just saying.
All right, we got them all loose. Get my cordless gun here. We're gonna buzz them all out. All right. Once we buzz them all out, take the assembly up. And again, be careful because there is these little shims on the bottom of each one. Make sure those shims are there. So we got 2. And we got 3. Now what we're gonna do, because we're using the same head on this side, we want to keep these in order as how they came off.
Why?
Because they wear differently. All of them are not wore the same, so we just want to make sure they all stay in the same cylinder to avoid any kind of problem. Now chances are, guys, I'm about 99.8% sure we can mix these up and do what we want to do and they still work because they're rockers and you can buy new ones. But I like to keep it in order for, just in case. Anything just in case. So we got 1, 2, and 3. All right, then what we're gonna do is, let me see, let me get this straight now. We got 1, 2, and 3. Now the push rods, just gonna take these push rods out. On the exhaust, yeah, these, you can mix them up, but not mix them up as in all cylinders because it just happens to be these 3.
No, I mean like in that head. You just took them out and then like it didn't matter.
Yeah, these you can mix them up. I mean, you should do them, but I'm trying to see. Now you see it. You see this right here. You see this? Notice how we got 2. One that's longer than the other 2. On this engine, the exhaust valves is long. The exhaust push rods are longer than the intake, and that's because if you look right here. Let me put this down. Well, the way this is designed, you notice like all the valves are not in one line. The exhaust valves are further back this way, so they got a longer way to travel to get to those lifters. So that's why the exhaust push rods are longer than the intake.
How do you know those are exhausts and those are intakes?
Another good question. You see these ports right here?
Yeah.
If you look inside the port, you can see a valve in there. You're only going to see one. You got to look probably over that angle, right down in there. See that valve down there, that shiny part?
Yeah.
That's going to this valve right here. These ports right here are going to the intake. So that's be an intake valve. And if you look in here, you'll see another shiny one. Oh, but over there, so that's it. So that means these two are intake valves. That's the easiest way of checking that out. All right, so let's get these other three out, and we'll be right back. All right, we're ready to pull off these heads. But first,
Yeah.
but first, we got.
Before you do that, can
Okay.
you explain one more time the difference?
How do I know?
Because I'm not understanding.
All right, you know what? Let me get a light. Okay. This engine happened to have 2 valves per every cylinder. A lot, sometimes have 3, some of them has 4. So what we do, let's check. Okay, let's look at it this way. You got 1 cylinder right here, right? Okay. So that means this is that means there's a piston right here. That means these 2 valves go to that 1 piston.
Oh.
And then like this,
Okay.
and then like this.
Okay.
Okay, now
I got that.
one of these valves are going to be for exhaust and one of them is going to be for intake.
Right.
Now you're going to have 2 ports, an intake port and an exhaust port. We can't see the exhaust port because it's on that side, but we can see the intake ports because the intake manifold bolts right here. So we know there's 3 pistons over here. There's going to be 3 ports.
Okay.
Okay, now take a little light here, and if you look down inside there, what you're looking at right there is a valve.
Oh, I see it.
And if you look over here, you'll see there's another valve.
Yeah.
Now if you look in here, now notice how these 2, I got to go at this angle to see those 2 valves for the intake. On this side, I have to actually go this way to see it. That valve you're looking at in there, that's considered the intake valve. You're not going to see the exhaust valve in here.
Oh.
Right? See? You're not going to see the exhaust. You're only going to, when you look through this port, you're only going to be able to see the intake valve.
Because
So
the exhaust is on the other side?
Exactly. The exhaust port is on the other. Now, if you go to the other side, once we pull the head off and pull the exhaust manifold off, we're gonna look through the port. Okay, over here, we're gonna look through the exhaust manifold, and you're gonna see the exhaust valve only.
Okay.
Now, so we see that, so we know going straight up, we know that's an intake valve.
Okay.
If we look in here, now if you look in here,
Yeah.
now if you look in there, you see a valve in there?
Yeah.
Now, where is on top of here? What's the intake valve? Where's the valve
The
at?
one right above it, right there, right?
Right here?
Yep.
That's it. Exactly right. So that's the intake valve.
Okay, I get it.
Got it. Now, what happens here is all the intake valves has the short push rods, and the exhaust valves has the longer one. Because if you notice it, the intake valves are more closer to us.
Yeah.
The exhaust valves are further back.
Okay, I get it. Thank
All
you
right.
for the explanation.
That's gonna cost.
Yeah.
That's about $50. All right, now we're gonna take off our heads.
But first,
But first, we need to do. Oh, this sucks. Huh. Okay. Yeah, we good. All right. But first, we got our our ignition wires here. And if you remember, we got them all connected here, and we got them marked of how they go back up on the ignition coils. So, what we need to do now is mark them over here so we know how to go. You know what? Let's get our oil dipstick tube out of the way. And what it is, looks like about a 13 millimeter here. Okay, so I'm gonna get my 13 millimeter deep, 1/2-inch drive. At least it looks like a 13, yeah. Buzz that out of the way. Take the bolt out. And gotta wiggle this. Pop that right out, just like that. Got an O-ring right here. Definitely we're going to be replacing that O-ring, because what happens if that O-ring is bad, which it probably is, it leaks oil inside of the engine. Let's put our bolt back in place. And our dipstick is going to go on the party line. Now, we're going to take our little marker and we're going to mark 1, 2. What you laughing for?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Because I don't put the dots up here? Because you told me, yeah.
You gotta push down.
It is.
So the ink
It is.
comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah, here. I'm gonna here.
No,
See,
you're not
you need it. What you need to do is get me some more of these markers.
Alright.
Because I like the yellow one.
Why?
I don't know, it's more brighter so people can see that mess.
Okay.
All right, now. What I'm gonna do is take my ignition spark plug pliers. Because what it is, you can take your hand and you got to twist them back and forth and try to, you got to break the seal to break them down there. And sometimes it's hard and you rip the boot. These will go down there, twist them, pop them right off. All right, so we're going to take these 3 off. Even with this, sometimes, man, this thing is...
Hey, why can't you use that tool to use on those clamps that you don't like?
Because it's not that strong. These are not that strong to squeeze them together.
Oh.
Okay, we got all 3 of them off. That is great. That's gonna go on the party line next. You know what? Matter of fact, let me go put. Huh?
I don't look like the party line.
Yeah, but I know where to go. You know what? Let me go put these on the party line, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Now we're ready to pull off these heads.
But first.
No, this ain't no but first this time.
Right.
All right, but first, here's our intake manifold gasket.
Junk.
Yeah, we can pop that up, and it's got little tabs on it, so you know exactly where to set that back into place. And remember, guys, they changed this. They said they changed this. So we go. Let's jump. Put this onto the side. All right. Now we have 8 15mm bolts. 4 right here and 4 down here. Now remember, you see this one looks different than the rest. It's got that little stud on there, and that's for that bracket. So what we're gonna do is take a 15mm deep 1/2-inch drive, 12-inch 1/2-inch drive extension, and my 1/2-inch drive ratchet. And what you want to do is you want to start. Now the theory of this is, as when metal, when you tighten it down, you want to start from the inside and work your way out. So that way you don't. I can use this air filter. An example. Now watch this. Say if this is the cylinder head. Now believe me, guys, this is actually what happens too. Dang. If you tighten up from the outsides first, you tighten up and you cause that right there. So when you go tighten up the center bolts, it's not really grabbing down. Now I'm magnifying this thousands of times. So the thing is, what you're supposed to do is when you tighten up something, then you just burnt our air filter. What you're supposed to do is get this out of the way. Push this back. You're supposed to tighten up from the center and then work your way out. So that way you know that thing is flat. All right, we're gonna leave that right there. Now unloosening it, what I like to do is go reverse. So what I like to do is start from the outsides and then work my way in, breaking them loose. And take notice that when I'm doing this, you at the same time you got to feel whether it's coming out loose. Because if one of them is loose, coming out tight, tighten it back up, loosen it up, Keep on doing that and work that out, because you definitely don't want to strip them threads out inside the block. And more than likely, you won't do this on this engine because it's a cast iron block. It's not like those aluminum blocks where you're definitely going to strip them out no matter what. All right, so everything came out even. Next thing we're going to do is pull out Mr. Earthquake. Put our 1/2-inch drop 15 millimeter up there. Finish taking out our bolts. All right, we are good to go, guys. Even though some places don't state, some manuals don't state that replacing the head bolts, you should always, if available, replace the head bolts. Why? Again, microscopic. Even though you don't see it, when these head bolts are torqued down, there is so much pressure. You gotta understand. You know how much pressure when that piston comes up and the form and gives you a compression, how much pressure is pushing up against that head. And if it's good, it'll knock that head right off the engine. So what's happening is, over years and years and years, these bolts stretch. They actually stretch. And when you go to retorque them down, because the bolt is stretched and longer, you're not getting the right torque back down on that head. And then a lot of times, and you'll see in videos, the guy starts the car up and you'll hear knocking. You hear once in a while. And that's what's happening, is that head is pulling them bolts right up. So you always, if you can, always get new head bolts. All right, so let's take these bolts out. And you notice the length of them. The ones on the bottom is shorter than the ones on the top. Okay, okay. Okay, and then we remember this one right here, and remember that's right in the corner. Short one. All right, now put this to the side. And here we go. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. All right, so let's grab this cylinder head. Pick it up. Take it off. I'm not gonna turn this upside down because we got a lot of oil up under here. So I'm gonna get a cardboard or something and set it down. And then we're gonna turn, oh, we got cardboard over here. Let's walk over here. You go on that side, I'll go on this side. We'll set it up on down on the cardboard. We're gonna turn it over. And here's our valves. 2 valves. Looks like the exhaust valve. And there's the intake valve. Now I can assume that because see, you got these 3 exhaust ports right here. And notice how they lined up right with the exhaust valve. So that's why I know these are the exhaust valves. And you can tell this from the spark plugs that somebody messed up big time. All right, I'm gonna ask Sylvia a little test here. Sylvia's gonna be on the quiz. What's the difference between those 3 spark plugs?
This one here looks burnt.
No.
Or like it was maybe.
Go over, what I want you to do is walk over all 3. So see if other people can figure out what's wrong also.
Okay.
Matter of fact, here, matter of fact, let me turn them to you so it make it easier for you to see.
Okay.
And I need you to look at those. So, and Sylvia likes our game observation. So, and you don't even have to go that close up on them to figure out the difference.
Okay. Does it matter that they're not facing the same way?
No.
But this does look burnt to me.
That's not the difference. You like this game.
No.
so,
Not when I'm under pressure.
you ain't under pressure? Alright, I'm gonna let her figure that out, and I'm gonna what am I gonna do? I'm gonna let Lee help. Can you guys figure it out? Look at all 3 spark plugs and tell me, hey, something wrong here. What is wrong? This is considered the power of observation.
This one's down.
There you go. Look at that. I'm treating Sylvia to Domino's today.
Woo! We've been banned from Domino's.
Yeah, that's right. We've been banned. And y'all guys saw the video of them messing up our food, so we've been banned from them pretty much.
Banned from Domino's. So that means they didn't screw them down right?
Exactly. That means this spark plug, something's up here. Or either it's the wrong plug, or they didn't screw this down all the way. But that will definitely cause a misfire. So let's turn this back over. And actually, you can see that spark plug sticking up there. So let me get me a ratchet here, an extension. All right, now what we're gonna do is let's try to tighten this down to see if it moves. Okay, look at that, guys. And it's going down tight. What that telling me? That somebody cross-threaded this hole right here. This job just got worse. But luckily, they didn't go down all the way. So now what we're going to do, let's back this off. Take this plug out. Why couldn't this be the head that we're changing? This plug goes deep down in there, man. That sucks. And guys, this is funny. This looks like a AC Delco original plugs. Is that original?
Probably.
But it looks really good though. They could have changed it. So we're gonna have to do here. Oh, we got a problem here. That's what happened. Look it down in there. Let me take this one out. And hopefully this is not gonna cause a issue. Man, you talking about backyards. All right, let me see. Tell me what's the difference is in those two.
Give us your light.
See that one? Let me see that one.
I'll go back down. The thing is up.
Yep, it looks like
I don't know what that's called.
What happened is it's an insert, which means somebody has stripped that out at one time or another.
So there's an insert in there?
There's an insert in there. And it looks like I hope that's an insert and not. Yeah, it looks like an insert or not the. Let's look up under here and see if we see anything. There is a. Yeah, that's an insert. I can tell by the opening, the big opening right here, and then the big opening right here, and this one's smaller, unless it's just not down.
Oh.
Unless the original thing is not all the way down.
That's what it looks like. The original, it started going up, right? Or going out, whatever.
So what do we do?
Silver part looks all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that one don't.
So what do we do now? Do we put the spark plug back in and tighten it up and see if it'll bring down that insert, because we don't want to do any damage to this, or do we leave it alone? Now thinking about that, there are what's called spark plug foulers, what they put inside there, and it'll bring the plug upward and it'll stop oil or anything from fouling out the plugs. So we can say we can use this as the same thing and put it back together and say there's nothing wrong. But if there is something wrong here, and that insert is coming out, that means over time this thing is going to blow out, and then they're going to be in a world of trouble. So what we're going to do, tell you what, this is what we're going to do. Let's try something here, because it seemed like it was I can still tighten it up. We're gonna put this plug back in there, and we're gonna turn the head upside down again. And as I'm tightening it, Sylvia's gonna be on the other side to see if that insert is moving. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, I'm tightening up the plug till it stops. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it over, and you're gonna try to see what's spinning in there. Can you see? Can you see the insert up there?
No.
Not really.
I see the plug. It's still moving.
I'm gonna have to turn this like this. Yeah. Let's get a piece of block of wood up in here. All right. I'm still turning, and I don't feel a lot of tension on it, like I'm actually stripping it. Now it's getting tight. Where's that plug at? Look at that plug. That plug is out there where it's supposed to be. That means that was an insert, and that insert was not down all the way. Now I am tight. So now let me back it up. I gotta hold that head down a little bit. Can't hold. All right, now let's take this out.
What are you taking out?
Huh?
What are you taking out?
The spark plug?
No.
It wasn't moving.
There we go. There we go.
Oh man, it got tight. So I'm wondering, is that insert backing up? From the way it's loosening up, I would say it is.
It doesn't look like it's moving.
What, the insert?
Yeah.
How's the insert now?
It's still down there.
The insert back. Well, no, it didn't back up because it's still
Right.
clean. The threads are still dirty, so it would have.
Yeah. Would have cleaned them
But
up.
so that means they didn't tighten it down all the way, or
Both things don't look great.
this is. So let's turn back and look at this. Look down in there. It's right down over here. And it looks like that insert is kind of cracked, but it did go down all the way and tighten up. It did. It tightened up really good. We're not gonna sit here and try to, go through another
did go
head.
pretty far
Yeah, it
up.
did go where it's supposed to be. So we're good with that. We're gonna leave that alone. All right. So we're gonna set that head down. Let's go back over here to the car. Now, looking at these head gaskets, this looks like a Felpro design. That at one time this head gasket was changed. I mean, it doesn't look like recent though, like they said. Oh, got that dowel pin. Got to make sure your dowel pins are in there, and these keep that head in place. So make sure both of them in there. Look at all that stuff. Look at all that stuff inside there. You can tell. See all that copper? See all that copper color right there? There's so much stuff inside this engine. All right. What I'm gonna do is go over here, and I'm gonna get my 15mm deep impact socket with my ratchet again, and I'm gonna go over here and loosen. We're gonna go loosen those up and get that ready to come out. All right, we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Got our 15mm deep with our 1/2" drive ratchet, and what I'm gonna do is go over here and start loosening up these bolts. And this is the head that we're replacing. All right, got them all loose. Now, of course, I can't get my air gun back there. But I can get my air ratchet. So let me find my tools I'm going to use here. And I'm only going to do 2 of them with you. And then we're going to come back and take those off. But what I got, my 15mm, same socket, deep 1/2 inch drive, and I got my reducer 1/2 inch to 3/8. And I'm going to use my air ratchet, and I'm going to cut my air compressor on, because I know it's going to take a lot of air. And that's kind of loud on the camera. But this is what I'm going to be doing. Alright, I'm going to go around, take all 8 loose. Then, actually, what I might do, yeah, I don't want to do nothing off camera. Get my wires over here, my ignition wires, and we're going to mark those also. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I got all the bolts loose, and what I did was mark these wires. Now notice I marked them in a different color. I marked these with a black marker. That's so I know these go on the right side of the engine. Alright? What I'm going to do is just get all these out of the way. Because instead of me trying to reach back there and take that off, I might just take these out with the head. You know what? Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Let's just take them out. See, that's how hard that is to turn and do this by hand without that tool. And even with the tool, it's kind of difficult, but two. Dang it. You don't get much room to twist on these things. Dang it. Oh, wow. Get this bolt out of my way. You figured that was enough to turn this thing. What the heck? Alright, I ain't gonna sit here and mess with this. Not me. Alright, I'm gonna take that off with it. Let's get our 2 wires out of the way. Make sure our harness is out of the way. Here we go. Dang it. That 1 wire, look at that. Look at that mess. Look at that wire. That wire, that 1 wire, man. Get. Alright, let's set this on the side. Go on, okay, go through here. Alright. Let's set this head down. Okay. Let's get our 1 head out of the way. Let's turn this one over. Let's see what we got. Okay. Well, that's really rusty. Boy, that's probably like it's coming down more than the other ones, don't it? But you know what, guys? Check this out. Look at the gap on the spark plugs. Is that a different plug? Because that just worn out completely. What did you see? And then the other one, that one's got a point to it. This one's got a little point to it. Like a different plug. Alright, look at, huh?
Well, why is that one so brown?
I don't know. I noticed it too. Yeah, the middle one. Don't know. Alright, let's turn this back over. Let's turn this over. Get our head bolts out. I'm not really caring about this head too much. Alright. You notice here's our broken part right there. And if you look at the other ones, you'll see like two sides to them. And that one's broken off. You know, I don't want to, you know, dang it. Heck, you know me and so we keep it real with people. I don't like being asked dumb questions. So, out of all through the series, we showed people what's broken here. Can you believe somebody on part 6 or part 5 asked, what are we going to do about the broken stud? The heck you mean? Haven't you? And, you know, this is what I mean, guys. At the end of every single video, Sylvia says, I hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. Well, dig it. I said that in all through the series when we found out what broke it. So stop asking me dumb questions. Dang it. All right, I think it's somebody being smart. I don't know, but it was. There's your answer. All right, so let's now, since I got a better angle at this thing right here, I'm going to take my gloves off. We're going to take that out, and we're going to take that spark plug out. So let me change my gloves. We're going to get these spark plugs, get them out, and we'll be right back. All right, got my little pliers here. You know, now I can get in here, and now I can twist this thing around like I want. And there we go. Dang it, that thing. Dang it. Dang it, man. Still broke apart. What the heck, man? Give me. That's no problem. That's no problem at all. Get this little piece out of here. Get new wires. Now guys, I'm gonna show you how to fix this also on that. But let's get these spark plugs out of here. One. Two. 3. All right. This is the front of the cylinder head. So this is cylinder number 1, and we got one of the same plug. So I can get in here and get this other plug out. Okay. Here's cylinder number 2. That's the one that Sylvia noticed it was brown, like there's something going on with it. I have no idea. Huh. Cylinder number 3. Different plug.
NGK.
NGK, a different plug, and that's why this one's burning down so much. These looks like platinum or double platinum, the tips, and this one's not. This is like a standard plug, copper top plug.
Why would you change just one plug?
Probably had a misfire and they just changed, hey, let's just change the one spark plug and whatever. Call it a day. This is junk. All right, let's go over there and take a look at this engine, see what's going on over here. All right, here's the gasket. Looks like at one time this thing head gaskets was done, cause that looks like a Felpro marking right there, but not in July. Like they got it, like they could say they changed the head gasket. This is definitely not them. This is definitely probably before them. Wait a minute. Remember over here I was showing you guys the dowel pins. It keeps the head in place. Those things actually keeps the head in place. Not the bolts. The bolts keep it down, but these keeps it centered right with the cylinders. I don't see none over here. Both dowel pins are gone. Let me get a light here.
Maybe they fell.
Let's get a light and see. Let me look up underneath the car. No. The dowel pins, they did not install the dowel pins. The dowel pins are not here. Wait a minute, what the heck is that? Guys, look at this mess. You saw that right now?
Mm-hmm.
You kidding me?
That's where you put the extra parts. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't nothing to laugh about, but you gotta laugh at some of the jobs these guys do, man. Where this goes? Okay, let's see here. Huh. Oh no. I think we took this off. We took this off. Yeah, because that's the that's the front of the front of the head when we took the alternator off.
Oh.
The alternator bracket and all that, this bolts right to it. All right, so we'll give them that. That's us. All right. So anyway, let me change. I gotta put that back where the alternator is. All right.
Let's see if you would have put that in the potty line.
Yeah, if I would have, I should have. And I remember it falling down in part one, and she reached down there and got it. Huh? What do you mean, huh?
The potty line.
Yeah. All right. So we know we're going to be getting a cylinder head. So I'm not worrying about that one. And the only thing we have to do is turn this around. Wait a minute. We got one dowel pin.
Oh.
We got a dowel pin.
Magically appeared.
So it's only one dowel pin holding this on.
Maybe the other one somewhere.
Somewhere. We're going to look around and over there and see if we see another dowel pin, and hopefully we do. We have found one.
Well, at least that's something cheap.
Yeah, we got to get this. That's cheap. Ain't nothing at all. All right. Now what we're going to do, you know what? We're going to leave everything on the cylinder head. So when we get the new one, we can just transfer the parts over. And this one, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to power wash it, get that nice and clean. We don't have to take off the exhaust manifold on that one, but we're going to get that nice and clean. And take care of that. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get these gaskets out of the way. They're garbage. They're done. Now, next thing we want to do is, got a bunch of paper towel here. What we want to do is go out here and get this antifreeze out of these cylinders. Do not want this in here, cause any kind of damage to the rings anything like that.
Contaminating my dirt.
Hmm?
Contaminating my dirt.
I'm contaminating no dirt. Ain't doing nothing.
My dirt.
All right. Now, we're not gonna go ahead and we're not gonna clean this up yet. Now we're gonna do, to keep any dirt or anything out of there, you're gonna take some nice rags. The oilier, the better, because the oil keeps that thing moist and all that. Yeah. Don't try to. It does. I'm not lying. The oil, they heavy too, so they're good. So we're gonna do cover that up and cover this section up right here from anything dropping it. You need 4 of them. All right, there we go like that. And it seems like our last one gonna be one of my clean ones. All right, now we're good with that. Now, what's this? What's this? Part 24 or something we doing?
622.
Yeah. All right, so we are done with this this episode. There is definitely one, and we made sure we looked around very carefully, just in case it didn't come out on the process of bringing the header from over here to the back of the truck. There is no other dowel pin. So we're gonna order not just one, we're gonna get all 4. Why stop there? Get them 4. We're gonna get 4. All right. Our next episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna power wash the parts, clean up the block and all, and hopefully by then we'll have the cylinder head, transfer the cylinder head, get everything ready. On the next part, we're gonna get everything ready to get this thing back together. We're gonna clean up all the parts and do all that, and show you the pressure washer. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, so that was the end of part 622. No. Part 7. Okay, so we're down to the cylinder heads now. Well, right now we're in the weights, right? Because first thing we're going to do is Timmy's going to go try to talk to this heifer mechanic and see if he's willing to help to fix his mistake, which I don't know. I don't think he will. I
don't think he will
I
either.
don't know the guy, but if he's going to be doing stuff like that, then I don't think he's going to be the type of person that's going to admit his mistake, or it's not even a mistake, his wrongdoing, and fix it. So I don't think he's going to do that anyway. But Timmy's going to try. We've been in talks with Desmond, and he feels that we should allow people to help. So this is what we're going to do. Timmy's going to try to talk to the guy. If he does not want to help, then I'm going to set up maybe a GoFundMe page just to raise a little bit of money to help her pay for the parts and the label or whatever, or the parts that she needs. Not to raise thousands of dollars. We're talking about a couple $100.
Yeah,
So,
just enough to cover the
just
parts
enough,
on the job.
Yeah, that she needs. That's
Also,
all.
I forgot to mention, and just in case we forgot, what's your recommendations on what we should do about that spark plug over there? It looks like it's okay, and the recommendation on the radiator.
Right. It's just to help her on what she needs, and we definitely need your suggestion on what to do with what we've come across. Okay, so, but we're not going to start that yet. Timmy's going to speak to the guy first. If he says, no, I'm not helping, I had nothing to do with it, or whatever he says, then we're going to see about doing something like that. All right, Timmy feels that we shouldn't have to or put money into helping fix this car. What we need to do is get together and make sure that this doesn't happen again. Get him out of business so that he can't do that to anyone anymore.
Yeah, that's my theory on it.
And it makes sense. It makes sense because of what we're going to do. Sit here and fix everybody's car that he's ripping people off on. And so then we get in and we have to all get together and pay for the repairs. I don't think that's right either. So we need to, maybe we can do both. How about both?
That sounds good. We'll do it.
Get him out of business so this doesn't happen again, and just help her out so she can get back on the road. And I really don't think she's the type of person. I'm going to put out her name. It's just her
I already
first
did.
name. Oh, Olivia.
Yeah.
So I got to talking to Olivia a little bit, and she doesn't seem the type of person that just throws away her money into things. She's still living with her mom. She's a single mom, but she's living with her mom. And as you can see by the car, she's not driving some luxury SUV like some people you see. They're driving Escalades. Meanwhile, they're going down to the Salvation Army to get donations.
She's driving butter.
She's driving butter.
They explain that.
Manteca.
Yeah. Explain. Check out.
Yeah.
Check out. Okay. Yeah. Explain that.
Because in this other mechanic, he put Chevy Manteca.
Check out the
instead of-
receipt again.
Yeah, instead of Monte Carlo, he put Manteca. All one word, Manteca. And Manteca in Spanish means butter. So
So she's driving a Chevy
she's driving
butter.
some butter. So a Chevy butter. But anyway, so I think that helping her out wouldn't be a bad thing. I think she would be extremely appreciative of it. And, her uncle's going to try to help her, but, if in case he can't cover everything, we can try to help. Really, this mechanic should put the money out to do what's right. She paid him, so at least give her at least part of that money. You don't want to give her the whole money? Don't give her the whole money. Fine, if that's how you feel. I didn't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. You did do something wrong. At least give her part of the money to help her pay for the actual repairs to this vehicle. So then she can go back and forth to work. That's all. She does work. So she, help her out a little bit. But anyway, if you guys have any comments or questions or suggestions, recommendations, just post them down below in the comment section, or you can email to me at tim@Astro Auto Repairs. Hope you paid attention.
That's
If
right.
not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astro Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.